Hi boys and girls, it's Aunt Molly again. How is everybody? I washed my hair today. It's getting longer. Do you see that? Yeah, it's getting longer. I looked for that other dolly. I did not find it. I looked in another tub, so I have another tub or two. They're just marked toys. I found my old Barbie house. That was kind of cool. I had this really cool 1968 Barbie house. My best friends growing up were always named Mary Ann. My first best friend was Mary Ann Dressler, and she was my best friend in Florida. And then I had when I was like 4, and she lived across the street. And then my next best friend was also named Mary Ann, and she lived about a block away. And then we both moved back to Texas together. Here's Raggedy Ann. So when I was 8, our fathers transferred with the same company, and we moved to Lake Jackson. And then when I was a young mom, one of my friends, we'd been friends. My friend David Nelson, hi David, I love you. He said, "Oh, you've got to meet my friend Mary. She's really cool. You'll love her." And I was friends with her, and we were like besties for like about a year. And then one day we were talking about middle names, and she goes, "Oh yeah, well my middle name is Ann." I go, "Oh, that explains everything." So it was like a prerequisite that your middle name had to be Ann. You had to be Mary Ann to be my best friend growing up. And then my best dolly friend was named Raggedy Ann. So when I had Madison, I thought about naming her Mary Ann, but I decided to name her Madison Alexandra because that was it was M-A, like Mary Ann. How did we get on this subject? I don't know. This has nothing to do with the Raggedy Ann story we're about to read, but I like sharing a little bit with my life about you. So, while we're stuck at home right now during this weird time, and Maddie and I went on a walk today, and we saw a really cool thing. We saw family walk down the street to this other family's house, and they had built a banner. There was a little sign with sticks on it, and the kids were walking that, and the sign had balloons stuck to it. And they went in the front yard. Excuse me, allergies. They went in the front yard of the other family, and they sang happy birthday. So we were walking 6 feet apart across the street. So guess what? We sang happy birthday too. Yeah, it was really cute. Sometimes you just have to make the best of a situation, you know. And I know Liesel just had a birthday, so I'm sorry you didn't get to have pizza party at school, Liesel, but happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. I actually have a card for you, and this is it actually right here. Liesel, I got you a card, but I didn't mail it because, you know, it's germs out there and all that stuff. So when I see you again, I'll give you your card. This is your birthday card, and it says, "Here's an ocean full of wishes for a birthday full of fun. Sure hope you have a splishy, splashy, extra special one." And that's your birthday card from me. So just wanted you to know I love you and happy belated birthday. I got this before your birthday, however, but I'm not mailing anything. Well, everything's so weird out there. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. So anyway, okay. Sorry, I have allergy asthma, and it's just really getting into me today, so I should have put a glass of water here. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to get busy reading Raggedy Ann Learns a Lesson. So let me put on my glasses, check, check, and I do. I have another crazy hat, and it's a Hawaiian hat. It's a Hawaiian hat. I have never been to Hawaii. I've barely been anywhere. I've only been to Mexico and Canada and Cancun and the United States, some of the places there, but that's it. Haven't traveled, big regret. But let's not be bitter. Okay, so to the story. To the story. Okay, you ready? Sorry, it's taking me a long time. Okay, so where we were the last time was, I'm not sick. I'm not sick. It's just the goo of the allergies. I need to take my allergy pill. Anyway, okay, this is where we were before. I can't seem to think clearly today, said Raggedy Ann. It feels like my head were ripped. Remember, she was kind of rubbing her head. And the French doll ran to Raggedy Ann and took off her bonnet. Yes, there is a rip in your head, Raggedy, she said, and pulled a pin from her skirt and pinned it to Raggedy's head. It is not a very neat job, for I got some puckers in it. Did you wear your crazy hat today, by the way? That's my question for you. Oh, that is ever so much better, cried Raggedy Ann. Now I can think quite clearly. Now Raggedy Ann can think quite clearly, cried all the dolls. My thoughts must have leaked out of my rip before, said Raggedy Ann. That's what my problem is. They must have leaked out before, dear Raggedy, cried all the dolls. I was supposed to say that last part like this. Now that I can think so clearly, said Raggedy Ann, I think the door must be locked, and to get in we must unlock it. That will be easy, said the Dutch doll, who says Mama when he's tipped backwards and forwards. Mama! For we will have the brave tin soldier shoot the key out of the lock. Ooh, there's a lot of pretty illustrations. I can't wait to show you. When I get to 9 minutes, I will. My glasses, I can see far away with this part, and fine print with this part, tiny print, and this middle part has nothing in it. But to read the time on my phone, I have to do that. Anyway. No, said Raggedy. I can easily do that, cried the tin soldier as he raised his gun. Oh, Raggedy Ann, cried the French dolly. Please do not let him shoot. No, said Raggedy Ann. We must think of a quieter way. And after thinking quite hard for a moment, Raggedy Ann jumped up and said, I have it! And she caught up the jumping jack and held him to the door, and then Jack slid up his stick and unlocked the door. Then all the dollies pushed the door and swung open. Well, a jumping jack was this thing on a stick, and its arms and legs kind of went like this, and it went whoop, and it made it taller. My, such a scramble. The dolls piled over one another in their desire, to be the first at the goodies. They swarmed upon the pantry shelves and in their eagerness spilled a pitcher of cream which ran all over the French dolly's dress. The Indian doll found some cornbread and yum, and dipping it in the molasses, yum. That was my daddy's favorite dish, cornbread and molasses. And he sat down for a good feast. A jar of raspberry jam was overturned, and all the dollies ate of this until their faces were all purple. Wow. The tin soldier fell from the shelf 3 times and bent one of his 10 legs, but he scrambled right back up again. Never had the dolls had so much fun and excitement, and they all had eaten their fill when they heard the click of the front gate. They did not take time to climb from the shelves, but all rolled or jumped off to the floor and scrambled back to their room as fast as they could run, leaving a trail of breadcrumbs and jam along the way. That sounds like a big mess, doesn't it? Just as their mistress came into the room, the dolls dropped in whatever positions they happened to be in. This is funny, said Mistress Marcella. They were all left sitting in their places around the room. I wonder if Fido has been shaking them up. That must be her dog, huh? Then she saw Raggedy Ann's face and picked her up. Why, Raggedy Ann, you're all sticky. I do believe you are covered with jam, she said, and Mistress tasted Raggedy Ann's hand. Yes, it's jam. Shame on you, Raggedy Ann. You've been in the pantry, and all the others too. All you dolls have been in the pantry. And with this, the doll's mistress dropped Raggedy Ann on the floor and left the room. When she came back, she had an apron on and her sleeves were rolled up like this. Can you roll up your sleeves? She picked up all the sticky dolls and putting them in a basket, she carried them out to the apple tree in the garden. There she had placed her little tub and a wringer, and she took the dolls one at a time and scrubbed them with a scrubbing brush and soused them up and down and this way and that in soap suds until they were all clean. Then she hung them out on the clothesline in the sunshine to dry. There the dolls hung all day, swinging and twisting about as the breeze swayed in the clothesline. I do believe she scrubbed my face so hard she wore off my smile, said Raggedy Ann, after an hour of silence. No, it's still there, said the tin soldier, as the wind twisted him around so he could see Raggedy. But I do believe my arms will never work without squeaking. They feel so rusted, he added. He needs to get oiled. Oil me. So just then the wind twisted the little Dutch doll. Oh my. I've gone over my minutes.